Alright folks, I know I promised the battle last episode, but this one's the actual battle. We're getting into the battle. If you have fan arts or fanfics to submit to us, you can email us at fanficnight@orderoftheleague.com. This is Fanfiction Theater, a celebration of naive This is Fanfiction Theater, a celebration of naive writing in all of its foibles, flaws, and unintentional hilarity.
Venom Van stood in front of Elsa and roared,
"You'll have to get through me first."
I was counting on that.
Then on that note, Carnage lunged for the attack with Serpentine right behind him. The fight was on, and Venom was literally fighting a two-front battle.
Literally.
I wish he could have another superhuman to help him.
Yeah, if only.
What's the metaphorical version of fighting a two-front battle?
You have diarrhea and nausea at the same time.
I like the image that Carnage leaps into battle and Serpentine is right behind him, like standing a little bit too close.
Like a snake man sandwich.
Yeah.
Just poking that fork-shaped tongue up over Carnage's shoulder now and then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy.
As he was
You give it
fending
to him, Carnage.
As he was fending the two monsters off, he shouted to Kristoff,
"Go now!"
Kristoff nodded and got Sven going at full speed. Elsa shouted,
Addy!
"It's so perfect for this version of Elsa," and tried to stand, but Anna held her back and did her best to assure her,
He'll be okay, but we gotta leave now. We don't
As
have
they
powers like he does.
"We aren't cool like him." As they shot back into the ravine and rounded a corner, the two sisters looked back worrying for Eddie. Elsa was on the verge of tears, not for her own safety, but for Eddie's, for he was alone with those horrible creatures truly fighting for his life.
Literally.
Meanwhile, Venom was doing his best to keep the enemy distracted so his friends could make their escape. He bravely fought with all of his heart, but he was simply overwhelmed. At one point, Carnage managed to grab hold of him with his tendrils and began choking him slowly. That was when Serpentine began punching Venom repeatedly. I think that counts as an "it was then." That was when Serpentine began punching Venom repeatedly as Carnage continued to have him in the chokehold. Whoa. Continued to have him in the... All right.
I will continue to have you in my chokehold.
Is Serpentor still behind him? Like, is he just punching him in the back?
Reaching around.
I will continue to have you after the break.
Although Serpentine's powers gave him enhanced strength, he still paled in comparison to the two symbiotes. However, what Serpentine lacked in strength...
Wait, but Serpentor is a symbiote.
No, he's just a snake-based supervillain.
Yeah, I think he just has a suit. Except,
he turns bald. Is that the same as in that sense? He is like a symbiote.
Male pattern baldness is like a symbiote taking over your entire body.
Yeah.
We put more thought into Serpentine than the author has.
However, what Serpentine lacked in strength, he more than made up for in speed. He was even faster than Venom and Carnage.
So it's just a barrage of really fast, weak punches.
And tongue jabs.
He just keeps forking him. Yeah. Eventually, Venom managed to break free of Carnage's hold and grab Serpentine at mid-punch and gave him a taste of his own medicine. Using all of his strength, Venom knocked Serpentine 100 feet back and sent him crashing into the outer stone wall of the ravine.
No, I prefer meters.
Probably should have killed him. If he isn't a person.
He then turned his attention to Carnage and began sparring with him with inhuman speed.
I spar with you.
I don't think this person knows what sparring means.
Little fisticuffs. Meanwhile, Kristoff was driving the sleigh to safety when all of a sudden Elsa remembered she had did something that many would consider foolish. She jumped out of the sleigh, causing Kristoff to stop and shout,
"What are you doing?"
Without saying a word, the Snow Queen raised her hand at the rest of the group and unleashed her ice powers. Whoa! Elsa went to the dark side.
Target there, Elsa.
However, she wasn't doing that to hurt them, but rather to protect. Within seconds, she formed a giant ice block around the sleigh and prayed that it would be enough to fucking choke their oxygen out to keep them safe from Carnage and Serpentine.
That's so fast.
She knew that they would have never left without her, and so she had no choice but to form the giant ice barrier. After she finished constructing their personal fortress, she ran back to the battle in order to help Eddie.
She furnishes it with
prison.
Cleared it with the foreman, got everything checked off, did all the paperwork.
I think you mean prison is really what you mean.
Yeah.
As she ran through the ravine, images of her visions from the previous night began flashing through her head. She didn't know what would be worse, seeing Eddie dead or seeing him return to evil. Elsa did know one thing. If she didn't hurry, it may turn out to be that first option. But she only...
So she didn't know if she wanted to hurry or not.
Eventually, she managed to close in on the battle. As she rounded the corner, she managed to see Venom hold Carnage down while he was savagely beating him with his fists. Carnage shrilled as he put up his hands, trying to deflect the blows, but Venom was not holding back. That was when Serpentine did a running kick on Venom's head, knocking him in a daze. He quickly shook it off and web-grabbed the Snake Man and body-slammed him to the ground. But now Carnage was on the attack. Carnage formed a whip with his hand and wrapped it around Venom, throwing him into the air. Then these sentences are so weird with no friggin' commas.
Throwing him in there, what?
He's tossing
You just
him in the
gotta
air like
imagine
a
it
pizza
being
pie.
said by like a 5-year-old telling you a story. Carnage formed a whip with his hand and wrapped it around Venom, throwing him into the air.
Then, as Venom came barreling down, Serpentine jumped up. Oh shit! Sorry, I just hit my other microphone there. I can't do that. I get too into it, man. Venom, God damn it! Then, as Venom came barreling down, Serpentine jumped up into the air and roundhouse kicked him in the chest. Elsa's heart dropped as she saw him make impact into the ground at super speed. And heard him roar from the pain. Now that actually makes more sense here since there's like snow on the ground, right? So
I'm still picturing a Wile E. Coyote shaped hole.
that was when Carnage and Serpentine descended on him like a pack of rabid wolves and began stomping him to death.
A 2-pack.
Oh my God.
Give him the old
now I have to
Waluigi.
draw. I have to draw wolves stomping someone to death.
Yeah, wolves are always stomping.
Carnage was now howling like a wolf with laughter as he said,
Well, that was fun. But I'm afraid the party's over, man.
he then formed both of his arms into blades and added,
Hey, Serpentine. Wonder how many chops it takes to kill another symbiote.
Let's find out.
Oh, being a symbiote, you should know.
Yeah.
well, like, I don't know how many chops it would take to kill me, so. Serpentine mewed.
Where are they? Are they all uniformly, homogeneously spread across the body? Randomly assigned? There's too many variables.
Serpentine mused. Just then, a bolt of ice struck Carnage in the side, causing him to howl in pain. Pulling the enchanted ice sickle out, Ice sickle.
What?
Yeah, a
Out?
sickle formed out of ice.
Ice?
This is what Elsa
Right,
does.
yeah.
Okay. She's gonna throw the hammer next.
See, I'm a sickle.
That's
All right.
that is adorable. Pulling the enchanted ice sickle out, he looked up to see Queen Elsa with her hand up, ready to shoot another at him.
You're gonna regret that, Blondie.
I told you that she's dangerous.
She's a little bit dangerous. All right. No, nobody. No. Okay. I'm really curious. Misha was like, finally, goddamn. Oh no. And I'm like, I wonder what points in the story those.
That was for Elsa, finding her powers and then turning them on her friends.
Got it. Serpentine said while laughing at Carnage's misfortune. To which the evil symbiote yelled,
Shut up or I'll shove this icicle where your scales can't protect you.
What was that? What were you channeling there? Like, this is the thing with which I will hurt you if it is, a badly dubbed.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad anime dub.
Yeah.
Which Serpentine jested.
You'd have to catch me first.
Deciding to stop their petty squabbling. What was that?
I said, yee.
Deciding to stop their petty squabbling, they turned their attention back on the queen, as Serpentine said.
We're not supposed to kill you, but the master never said anything about just hurting.
They then began walking toward her, while Carnage still had his blade arms still out. Deciding not to let them get any closer, Elsa shot her ice powers at them to keep them away. Weird.
Oh, thank you, Elsa.
She threw her powers?
No, she shot them. Once she opened up on them, she knew there was no going back now. She did her best to hit them, but in the end, they were just too quick. As they closed in on her, Carnage put up his blade hand to make his next move, but then something grabbed onto him and Serpentine and pulled them back at full force. Elsa looked and saw that Venom had them with his web strands, and he continued to draw in his enemies as he got back up to his feet.
There's the lack of commas we know and love.
Then with one violent tug, he had them by their necks and said,
The Snow Queen is mine and mine alone.
He then slammed them to the ground and began pummeling them repeatedly. Eventually, they managed to get free from Venom's assault and double-teamed him again. I love how, this author keeps pointing out that, Carnage has blade hands, and then everybody just keeps punching each other.
Yeah.
We got a roundhouse kick. That was nice. Just a little, something. Serpentine managed to get a hold of him, while this time Carnage began whacking him with a sledgehammer. It was then, in her desperation, Elsa began to shoot off her ice powers at her enemies in order to save the love of her life. She hated to see Eddie Brock in the pain he was in. Little did she know that the worst was yet to come.
Oh, no.
60 years later, she watched him die of cancer. It was very painful. In a great deal of power, she fired an icy blast at the evil duo. Right as she shot it through, Carnage and Serpentine... Wait. Oh, right, Right as she shot it, though, Carnage and Serpentine nodded, and then with inhuman speed, they did the unthinkable. They used Venom as a human shield and her ice...
That's a fine enough sentiment on its own. This might be our last time. We better do it with inhuman speed.
They used Venom as a human shield, and her ice spell hit him in the heart, causing Venom to collapse from the impact.
Did it change the color of his non-existent hair? I swear to God, if there's a troll song in the next chapter.
Oh, God. Oh, that was the worst part of that movie. Oh, my God. Oh.
Misha says, wow, she had those all along?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Eddie!
She screamed in terror as she saw her ice blast hit him in the worst place possible. No, that's second worst.
All right, this is her.
Quinn?
Oh, yeah. No, not again.
She thought as tears rolled down her eyes. She mentally cursed herself
from the top to the bottom.
Wait, I didn't even know.
Making fun of a disability, I think.
she mentally cursed herself for doing the one thing that she promised never to do again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did this literally happen?
What?
Did this literally happen in Frozen as well?
Yes, that happened in Frozen. She did that to Anna, and they had to save her.
Yeah, they had to save her by finding true love, which they already have.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue.
Right.
But it happened. Once again, she froze a loved one's heart.
Eddie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She cried to him. But that was when the enemy made their move. Carnage leapt over to where Elsa was and grabbed her despite her kicking and screaming, trying to get away. Oh my god, a comma. Deciding not to put up with it, he knocked her out and slung her unconscious body over his shoulder and swung away with his tendrils while Serpentine was right behind them.
No way, dude.
Does that mean he's holding on behind?
Yes.
Because he swung away.
I need a picture now. Carnage swinging away with the much smaller Serpentine just clinging to his butt.
I mean, the only other option is that he's just hoofing it along the snow, right?
Technically, this should be the entire paragraph, but...
Yep.
Elsa! And he screamed as his face appeared.
This sounds like a rock opera.
Elsa, you froze my heart with ice. That wasn't very nice. He attempted to shoot out a web strand and follow them to rescue his queen, but then an unnatural pain shot from his heart, causing him to convulse and scream from it. He tried again, and this time managed to get some air, but once he shot another strand out to take his next swing, the pain shot through him again, causing him to lose his focus and crash into the ground. As he made impact, he tried to get back up and try again, but the pain was too great, causing him to collapse. He began to black out, but as the world around him turned dark, he thought he could see a pair of feet walking toward him.
Oh no, it's gonna be the trolls.
Oh,
It's gonna be the trolls.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, Kristoff, Anna, Olaf, and Sven were still trapped in the snow block. Kristoff used about every tool he had to try and break through the ice and get free, but the enchanted ice was far too strong. Either Elsa truly didn't want them to get out, or the more likely and disturbing scenario, something to get in.
They know what's going on.
Yeah,
and,
it's both
like-
of those things.
He was down to his pickaxe, like that wasn't the first tool.
Yeah, I know. You're an ice cutter by trade. Why
Also-
can't you handle this?
Also, they're all shoved into a very small area here. Maybe swinging a pickaxe is not the best thing.
Right.
He was down.
You hit Olaf. Wait, no, do it again.
He was down to his pickaxe as he violently tried chipping away at the thick ice wall surrounding them. He eventually tired out and threw the pickaxe down in frustration and kicked the wall while shouting at it.
Why won't you break?
I feel like that's directed at the reader, asking why we're still reading this.
Yeah.
He then sat down trying to catch his breath while Anna squatted down to try and comfort him for his efforts. Squatted there. Such a...
Yeah.
They then embraced each other.
Maybe
as
I
Anna
can
said,
pee our way out.
Hold on, Kristoff. Let me just pop a squat right here.
We'll get out of here. I just know it.
Suddenly, a loud crashing sound caught them off guard as they both fell over and looked over to see a large metal hand that had punched through the wall.
Metal?
Okay,
Yeah.
who do we think this is gonna be?
Metallo.
Metal Sonic.
Dr. Doom?
Did
Shrek.
Serpentor have metal hands?
Nope.
No.
Oh, never mind.
This has got
It's got a fork-shaped
Dr.
top.
be-
Doom.
Metallo.
Gosh, I think it might be Paul Giamatti as Rhino.
Oh my god.
Is it
Dr. Doom is the best guess so
Dr.
far.
Octopus?
Marvel. Octopus is, But why would he be helping them? I was going to say, but Misha also pointed out Iron Man. Is another Marvel.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, no, I'm giving the author too much credit. I was gonna say I feel like the author would have said Iron Hand or something. But
I don't think
Iron is a metal.
they would do Iron Man because remember, this guy's all like, people like the heroes, but I like Venom.
Yeah,
Well,
he
Iron
does
Man was
have
mentioned
not like
in the
other
story,
geeks.
though. He was the one who sent Venom to Arendelle. Even
Is
though
he in this?
even though he was trying to send him to the far reaches of space.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
So maybe he's here now trying to clean up his mistake.
as we all know,
could be.
Disney's Frozen takes place in the far reaches of space.
Yes.
I'm just down with Comrade Elsa throwing icicles at people. That's,
Finally. Oh,
Yeah. Like next chapter, she's going to give out
finally.
bread to people. Perhaps you wouldn't be so downtrodden and beating your wife out of insecurities if your food worries weren't there, my friend. Here, have more bread.
Maybe you wouldn't be so downtrodden if you just pulled yourself up by your bootstraps.
No, that's
Stop
something
being
Carnage would
poor.
say.
yeah, that's capitalist carnage right there.
Capitalist Carnage. Capitalist
Capitalist
Carnage.
carnage, like Comrade Elsa.
That's